Hey there guys, time for another rankings video, and since Logan's coming out next week and the X-Men franchise has been going on since 2000, I feel really old for saying that now. I thought it was time to do my rankings from every X-Men film from worst to best. Now before I get started, let me just go through some ground rules. The Wolverine movies and Deadpool are going to be in this list since they take place in the same universe sort of. And this is my personal list, so respect it. If you've got your own personal list, comment down below, I'd like to see it. But let's get started with number 9. At number 9 we have X-Men Apocalypse. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't the worst X-Men film in terms of a movie quality, but this is hands down the most disappointing. I've been looking forward to this film for 2 years. You have the same creative team from the last 2 X-Men films. It's directed by Bryan Singer, who I thought was the best comic book director of all time, and directed 3 great X-Men films. But there are some gems to this: the Quicksilver scenes, the new cast of X-Men, and a great performance by Michael Fassbender. But this just has so many problems. Some people just didn't want to be in this film. Like, I'm not saying any names, Jennifer Lawrence. A lack of compelling story, wasted opportunities. This is a film I'm in no rush to buy on Blu-ray or see it again. At number 8, I have X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, this is definitely not a good movie with its horrible CGI, the basic storytelling, the 2-dimensional characters. What's what I am doing in this movie? And screwing up Deadpool. But I've seen this film like 10 times and I enjoy it. It's such a guilty pleasure for me. And there's some elements in this film I really dig. I thought the first 15 minutes was awesome. I thought the score was fantastic. I thought the title sequence was phenomenal. There's some potential in this movie. At number 7 I have X-Men The Last Stand. What can I say about this film? Yes, it's very entertaining and there's some stuff to this film I really like. Kelsey Grammer as the Beast was a great addition. But this film killed off the franchise till X-Men First Class came along in 2011. Brett Ratner just didn't know what to do with this franchise, screwing up the Dark Phoenix saga, doing unnecessary things like killing off certain characters and ruining stuff we loved from the first 2 X-Men films. Why is Vinnie Jones playing Juggernaut and where's Nightcrawler? At number 6 I have The Wolverine. Now this is a good movie, besides from the third act falling apart with the robot samurai and the bone claws growing back. How? But this is Hugh Jackman's best performance as Wolverine so far, and I liked it how they changed the environment. Every superhero film has to happen in New York for some reason, but this one it happens all in Japan, and it's fascinating and it's enjoyable. And this film doesn't feel like an X-Men film, which is not a bad thing, this is a good thing. And I like it how Wolverine has his own arc and it actually carries the whole movie. At number 5, I have Deadpool. Now this took 11 years to come out and it was worth it. The great humour, the gorgeous style of action, and it's so entertaining. Ryan Reynolds was born to play this role. Besides from a couple of nitpicks, this is a comic book movie not like any other. At number 4, we have X-Men, the one that started it all. Literally, it started the comic book genre. We wouldn't have a Dark Knight trilogy, a Marvel Cinematic Universe, better X-Men films. And before you say Blade was more as a horror film, and yeah, in some ways this feels a bit outdated, but this film is 17 years old, what do you expect? But this film had a great set of characters, it had a suspenseful, interesting plot, and it did a great job establishing the universe, the mutants, the rules, society's point of view. At number 2, we have X2, X-Men United. Arguably the best X-Men film, but for me it's number 3. This film is almost 15 years old and it feels so fresh. They took everything we loved about the first X-Men film and times it by 10. Better action, a growing cast, a superior plot, and that opening scene with Nightcrawler in the White House still holds up to this day. And there's little bits in this film you just love, like that little short cameo of Colossus. Anything just pleases X-Men fans. At number 2 we have X-Men First Class. I remember taking my ex-girlfriend to see this film, and I wasn't expecting much because the last 2 films kind of sucked. But man, this film made me become an X-Men fan, and people started to shut up from saying, give X-Men back to Marvel. Matthew Vaughn did such an incredible job writing or directing this film. This is probably the best prequel ever done. This film made me fall in love with Michael Fassbender, and not forgetting James McAvoy and Kevin Bacon and other people as well did great performances. The film gave a fresh style and excitement to the franchise, even though this franchise was over 10 years old at the time. And number 1, my favourite X-Men film of all time. We knew it was coming. It's not just a great comic book film, it's a great film overall. And that's X-Men Days of Future Past. This was a film, if you explained to me on paper, I would say this wouldn't work in a million years, but Bryan Singer pulled it off so great. It was able to combine things from the first 2 X-Men films and X-Men First Class and combine them together and also add something new to it. Every character in this film, it doesn't matter how big or how small their role was, every character had their own time to shine. And it also erased everything we hated about X-Men The Last Stand. And it was so incredible how they were able to adapt something so small, a 2-part comic book series storyline, into such an incredible screenplay. And so that's why X-Men Days of Future Past is not just a great comic book film, a great film, it's in my top 5 comic book films of all time. So I highly recommend go check this one out. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Go like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my Facebook, my Twitter and my Instagram page. You guys are awesome. I got your back.